We're back to give you the legal edge. During this segment, we often talk about different laws and what they mean. This week, however, we want to take a moment to remind everyone on how a law becomes law. I sat down with Attorney Bryan Waldman to help break it all down for you.
So, Brian, we're going to get away from the politics right now and just focus on the legal system, on the laws in general. And I know you've read some comments that people have made on news sites or social media. Can you explain things in a way that can clear up any misconceptions?
Well, like I said before, Siobhan, a law is simply a rule that we all follow in society. And we have many types of laws that are adopted in many types of ways. For example, there are federal laws that deal with things like copyright and trademark. There are state laws that deal with how you drive your car, or what's called the Motor Vehicle or Michigan Vehicle Code. And then there's local laws, things like when you need to have your dog on a leash or where you can park your car at night. Those are all laws, and they're all made in many different ways.
So we're taught in civics or government classes that, a bill becomes law when it's voted on by Congress and it's signed by the president, or when we're talking about state law, it's voted on by the Michigan House and the Senate and then signed by the governor. But there are other ways that laws are passed.
Absolutely. So in Michigan, we have ballot initiatives or ballot proposals where citizens can vote on whether to change or adopt a law. We have the Michigan Constitution gives cities and townships the right to pass local laws or ordinances, and they're all valid ways of creating laws.
So where do the executive orders from the governor, then, those laws, where do they come into play?
Well, there's a Michigan statute, we've talked about it before, the Emergency Powers of the Governor Act, that gives the governor the ability to issue reasonable orders to protect life and property during a state of emergency.
And we know some of these orders have been challenged in court.
Right. Orders, statutes, ordinances, all laws can be challenged. And if they're found to be unconstitutional, the courts will strike them down. And if they're found to be constitutional, they'll be upheld.
So looking at some of the comments after the last segment that you and I did together, a number of people mentioned that, they disagree with you and they felt that unless Congress or the Michigan legislature voted to approve a law, it is unenforceable. Is there any merit to that statement?
Well, with all due respect to the viewer, Siobhan, there's not. A law does not have to be voted on by Congress or the Michigan legislature. For example, if the city of Lansing or the city of Hazlet adopts an ordinance that says you can't let your dog run freely in your neighborhood, or you can't cut your grass with a power mower before 7 a.m., that's a valid law. It's a valid rule. Citizens have to follow it. And Congress or the Michigan legislature hasn't voted on that rule, but it still needs to be followed.
All right. Brian, thank you. As always, we appreciate it for giving us the legal edge.